Alright, YouTube, this is my neighbor's F-150 truck that I've been working on. Basically got the okay to tear this thing down and do a full rebuild on it. So what we're doing now is, as you can see, we've got the engine block is basically fresh out of the machine shop, and I had to cut it 20 thousandths over because of some scoring that was in the cylinder bore here. So anyways, I had a full set of pistons that were matched to the block. It's cut 20 thousandths over, and now I got it back in yesterday, and I've got the block painted basically. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these factory steel plugs with brass plugs. So I'm going to take those out and pop in new brass plugs. Anyways, on this video too, I'm going to go over some part numbers and all the part numbers that I'm going to be using to do this particular rebuild. This is the head gasket. The head gaskets. These are the MLS style. You can see the steel there in the middle. And this is a Victor Reigns gasket. Gasket number is 9250 PT. And next we have the expansion plug set, and this is part number 381 8053 Federer Mughal. The crank here. I had the crank polished out, didn't need anything further than that. Let's see what we have here. These are the rings. Let's see if I can find a part number. There we go. These are the 20 thousandths over rings, and they're E911K. As you can see, it's 0.50 millimeter. 0.50 millimeter is basically 20 thousandths. And if they also had an option, I could have went bigger, which would have been 1 millimeter, and that would have been approximately 40 thousandths. So there's that. But unfortunately, I didn't have to cut more than I had, more than that on this block. Timing chain. This is a Cloy's timing chain. Good timing chain. And this is 9-5323. So we got that in there. Moving on, of course, we're going to put brand new plugs in there. These are the Motorcraft plugs. And let's see if we can focus in. Fine wire, SP486. And there's a longer part number there. You can type that in if you like. Anyways, next up, WR 5702, and these are the Motorcraft plug wire set. So that's a lot later in this build, but I'm just gonna go ahead and mention that. Also, the Motorcraft water pump, also a lot later in the build here, and it's gonna be probably this part number here, this 5L3Z8501-A. This is the Motorcraft water pump. Okay. And also, timing cover set. Okay, so the timing cover set is TCS. Obviously, timing cover set 459.84. This is what I wanted to show you here particularly. These are the gaskets that originally failed. These are the manifold set MS98010-T1. Now there's another manifold set that would give you the cheapy style manifold gaskets. These gaskets here are a lot heavier duty. They have the steel insert versus the plastic, and as you can see, this is a much better gasket than the one that comes with Felpro, made in the US. Really nice gaskets. I'd recommend these over the stock style that came in the truck, which are basically a plastic. I might have one here. Here we go. This is some of the old stuff. So here's a comparison of the old gasket and the old plastic, basically, compared to the steel gaskets. No comparison on those. They are far superior. So there's that. Moving on, more Felpro stuff. This is the oil pan set. Really nothing much to this. It's I think some silicone and a rear seal. So OS 306 25R. There's that. And This is a rear main bearing, seal BS 40644, also Felpro. And this is another Felpro valve cover set BS 50441R. So that's that for those. And then these are going to be mostly the bearings and internal stuff here. What is this? Oh, these are the balance shaft bearings. Something that's unique to this engine is the balance shaft. And so what it's just going to call for here is it's going to say cam bearing set, but it's not a cam bearing set. It's a balance shaft bearings, and that part number is SH1526S. Those are the bearings for the balance shaft. These are the rod bearings, and of course I've got 6 of these, and these are all, this is Clevite, this is all Clevite stuff. CB1667P, and you'll need 6 of those. Okay, and then this is, what are these here? I believe these are the main bearings. Where are we at? Okay, MS1812P. And yeah, I believe these are the main bearings. Yeah, they are. Okay, also what you will definitely need, and do not do this build without these. These are, again, Victor Reigns, Mall, made in US. These are the cylinder head studs, and they are torque yield. These bolts, basically, what happens after you install them is they stretch, and you will not get the proper clamping force if you reuse the old bolts. So never reuse the old bolts on these. Those are very important, and make sure when you put on your cylinder heads that you take the time and do the proper tightening sequence and procedure to basically tighten down the bolts. I think it's a 5-step process on this particular cylinder heads, and it's lengthy, but the engineers came up with it for a reason. So we're gonna go ahead and follow that. I've already had the machine shop put in the new bearings for the cam. I apologize, I don't have that part number on hand here, but what I'm going to do is also I'm going to pop off this rear cap that is going to be necessary, because I'm going to have to replace the, I don't know if you can see that in there, I'm going to have to replace the balance shaft bearings. I don't think it's going to focus on there, but those bearings are pretty spent in there. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but you can get your finger in a lot of those grooves, your fingernail. So they're spent. So the way to do it is I have to pop this off and use my tool and get it in there and pop it all the way through. So there's only 2 of those for the balance shaft. But anyways, this engine's gonna get rebuilt. I just wanted to go over if anybody's rebuilding this particular motor, basically the part numbers that you'll need, save you some time, because I did a lot of research on different part numbers and had to go through, I don't know, many websites and various forums and different things, and people talking about different items, and just a bunch of stuff. It's really time consuming when you're not familiar with a particular motor and you're doing a build on it, because there's a lot of things that are different from motor to motor. So I think this would actually help somebody out if they're looking to build this motor. I don't use cheap stuff, as you can see. It's either Motorcraft, Felpro, Cloys. It's all the top stuff. So hopefully this helps somebody out. I've got basically the cylinder heads here. They're sitting there in plastic bags, and the rest of the motor just basically in boxes. So we're gonna go ahead and start off this rebuild, and hopefully everything goes good. Anyways, this helps you guys out. Until next time, guys.